Christian C1 interview covering Las Vegas and the world. Today we're going to talk about the difference between lab-created diamonds and natural diamonds. And here to speak with us about that is Tracie Butchko. She is Max Pawn Luxury's gemologist. Tracie, thank you so much for joining us today on C1 interview. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having us.
Oh, absolutely. We've had Mike on in the past, and we're happy to have you here today. So why don't you tell us about how long you've been with Max Pawn Luxury and what you do as a gemologist at Max Pawn Luxury?
So I've been with Max Pawn for almost 7 years, but I've been doing pre-owned jewelry in Las Vegas for over 20 years. I found a passion for diamonds and jewelry early on in my career and decided to pursue a little more education about it. So yeah, I have some certificates from GIA, and I am usually the one that would grade or do appraisals that we offer through merchandise that we sell.
How often do people not know the kind of diamond that they have when they come into Max Pawn Luxury?
Very often. And I think nowadays, with lab grown diamonds becoming more and more readily available, some people, especially if it was a gift, may not know that they have a lab grown diamond in their jewelry.
So how do you tell the difference? Obviously, you've had some education, some schooling on this, but is it very easy to tell just looking at it? Do you have to put it under something? Like, take us through that process of what that's like.
Yeah, so to be quite honest, lab grown diamonds and natural diamonds are exactly the same thing. So I think that's a big misconception that people have, that lab grown diamonds are not real or they're fake diamonds. They're not fake, and they're 100% real diamonds. Michael likes to say a lab grown diamond is like having a test tube baby. It's still your baby, you still love it. It was just made in a lab instead of in the earth. So they are the exact same properties. They're just as hard, just as brilliant as their natural counterparts. They are very more affordable, especially nowadays with more and more people entering the lab grown marketplace. So for us, we have a very sophisticated equipment because you cannot tell the difference with your naked eye. Sometimes a manufacturer will inscribe it across the girdle of the diamond, which is the waist between the top and the bottom. But nowadays they're making them in every size, shape, and color, and they're not going to be able to do that to every single lab grown diamond. So we have special equipment here that we can put your jewelry in to tell you if it's lab grown or natural. But really, that's the only way to tell.
So would it be fair to say that lab diamonds may have less imperfections than your traditional diamonds?
Absolutely. So, because they control the environment that these diamonds are being made in, they're able to control the amount of imperfections, and they have really streamlined how to get the color well and the clarity. And because these diamonds grow about a carat a month, so they're able to cut these diamonds into almost perfect proportions because they have the availability to not worry so much about waste. When it's a natural diamond that costs so much money to be mined from the earth, they want to maximize the amount of carat weight in it. So it may not be perfectly proportioned because they want to use every part of that diamond to make it a diamond shape. But with lab grown diamonds, they have the availability to not worry so much about waste. And because the diamond is more perfect in its formation, you're going to get a more brilliant, brighter, clearer diamond with a lab grown diamond over a natural diamond of the same proportion, like 1 carat for 1 carat.
I know you have some examples for us today of the two differences, so why don't you show us what you have?
So we have a large selection of lab grown diamonds at Max Pawn. We do also carry quite a bit of natural diamonds as well. But if I were personally buying, like, let's say a tennis bracelet, tennis bracelets tend to get a lot of wear and tear because they're on your wrist and you move your arms a lot. They touch surfaces a lot. This would be a great way of saving yourself some money and getting all the brilliance of a natural diamond in something like that. And I would say the same thing for like stud earrings, right? Because these are way up on your ear. You can save yourself quite a bit going with lab grown over natural for some items like that. We have, these are natural, these are lab grown. You would never know the difference between them. We have them tagged special in our store so that in case something makes it out of the wrong case, we know that goes in our lab grown case. But yeah, there's so many options now, and maybe you travel a lot and you don't want to take something that was quite an investment with a natural diamond. You want to have something to wear when you're traveling. You could get yourself a lab grown counterpart. These are just beautiful diamond bands in lab grown, and most of these are under $1,500. I mean, the price point difference is significant when you think about the size of what you're buying. Let me try to show you. So these are both similarly 1 carat diamonds. Try to get you guys a close-up view if I can. The one over here, this is a lab grown solitaire. This is a natural with some diamonds around the side. This one is not quite as clear as this guy. This one is priced in the store at $1,250. This one is priced at $1,900. So you're getting a better quality just because you're buying a lab grown over a natural. Some people have an affinity for natural diamonds, and I don't think they'll ever really go away, but it is very expensive to mine for natural diamonds, and it's a little more less environmentally friendly than lab grown diamonds. So I do think we'll start to see more and more lab grown diamonds over natural in the marketplace. Natural diamonds never go away. You can remake them. You know, a lot of jewelers like take them apart in their old settings and make them into new pieces. And I think you'll still see that, but I think you'll start seeing more and more affordability in lab grown diamond jewelry.
So here's what I'm going to ask you. How have millennials and Gen Z impacted the diamond market?
I see, as I said, like a lot more manufacturers, even some design houses are starting to incorporate lab grown diamonds into their jewelry lines. Pandora, for example, has a lab grown line of jewelry now. And I think more and more designers are starting to dabble into lab grown jewelry because it is much more, like I said, environmentally friendly. And we're seeing and it's affordable. So people want that, $1 million look without spending $1 million. That lab grown diamonds are definitely the way to go. I think my own children think it's more environmentally friendly to go lab grown, and they can get something that looks like a very substantial piece for less of an investment out of their pocket. And we're seeing that much more in the marketplace now.
So then my question to you on the follow-up is that would you say, among all the locations of Max Pawn Luxury here in Las Vegas, that you guys have more natural diamonds, or do you think you have more lab diamonds at this point?
So because we work in pre-owned jewelry, we still have a majority of our jewelry will be natural. Most of our lab grown jewelry is jewelry that we purchase to have in store for customers. We've seen very few pieces come through the secondhand market because it's still a fresh item. And I think that will start to change over time. But right now, you have a large selection of both choices at every Max Pawn location.
Would you say that when people are coming in to sell something that the diamond ring is the most common thing that you guys see?
Yes, I would say that's probably for the most part true. Like we get a lot of jewelry, especially rings. We see people that maybe things didn't work out. So they want to reinvest that money into something else. So they're looking to sell it and move on to something new. Maybe use the money they sell for their jewelry to go on a trip or something else. So we do see a lot of jewelry come through. There's a large selection. And one thing that I think I do love about pre-owned jewelry is that the trends don't always talk to every person. Some people like the looks from the 80s or 90s or early 2000s. You're not going to find that out there in new jewelry. They follow the trends of whatever the jewelry market dictates is current. So if you're looking for something unique or antique or just a little less relevant like to today's jewelry manufacturing, you can find it at a pre-owned jewelry like Max Pawn.
I understand. So then let me just ask you, looking, do you guys get also a lot of like gold wedding bands, for example? Do people bring those by?
Yeah, gold's at an all-time high. So now is the time. If you have any old gold sitting around in your jewelry box or your drawer and you never haven't thought about it or you haven't really decided what to do with it, now's the time to sell it. We do see a lot of people bringing their gold in right now to sell because gold is at an all-time market high. And we try to be very fair when we are offering prices to customers. And maybe you just need a short-term loan. That's exactly what we do too. It's like you could turn your gold into a short-term loan and come back and pick it back up when the holidays are over maybe and you're ready to get it back and do something else.
How many people would you say in general don't end up ever coming back for their items?
Shockingly, like 10 to 15%. Everybody else keeps their items that they mean something to them. That's why they did a loan in the first place, because we offer purchases. You can just come in and sell your item. You don't have to take a loan against it. And some people do want to just sell it. They have no attachment to it anymore, or it's outlived its usefulness to them. They're willing to sell it and will happily buy it. But loans is probably 80 to 85% of those customers pick those items up.
So tell me a little bit, just give me kind of an overview of what your diamond inventory is like among the stores. Like what can people expect to see in each of the stores, generally speaking?
We have a large selection of designer jewelry and regular just diamond jewelry. So the lab grown has everything from bracelets, earrings, rings, engagement rings, general jewelry rings, because now we're starting to see more like just fashion rings made in lab grown diamonds. We have some jewelry that we just got in that's set in sterling with lab grown diamonds. That's super affordable. Some pieces we have from that vendor are under $100. So you're getting natural diamonds set in sterling for under $100. It's incredibly affordable. I was really blown away with some of the choices that we have. One of those pieces is this bangle bracelet set in sterling silver with lab grown diamonds. This is priced at $375. It's a brand new piece and it has a matching ring in case you love something like that. So you'll get lots of options in our natural diamonds. We have earrings, we have studs, we have hoops, we have drops, we have engagement rings, fashion rings, tennis bracelets, regular bracelets, you pretty much name it and we pretty much have it. We have a large selection of our inventory listed at maxpawn.com. So if you wanted to take a look there to kind of see what we offer, you can always, and we update that website every single day. So that's kind of a great way to get an idea of what you would find at a Max Pawn.
Gotcha. So how many locations at this point? I know you guys just opened one over on Decatur in like the last year. How many locations does Max Pawn now have?
We have 3 locations. Our original store is on Jones and Sahara. The store you mentioned is Decatur and Flamingo. That opened in January of 2023. And then the store that I'm standing in is our newest location on Durango and Sunset, which opened in June of 2023.
Great. So then let me just ask you, do you guys, because, obviously, Vegas is the marriage capital of America. Do you guys have people come in right before who want to get eloped, that want to get some jewelry, a ring, a diamond ring before their ceremony? Does that happen?
It does happen. Sometimes it's really funny. I've been, like I said, been doing this for over 20 years. So I've sold many engagement rings, sometimes multiple engagement rings to the same person who just didn't find their right person. But I always want to hear, like, do you have a plan? What are you doing? You know, come back and let us know how it went. Yeah, so, and then those customers usually turn into buying customers for their anniversaries and birthdays. So yes, we do. I'll ask sometimes, when you guys getting married? And sometimes it's that day. Like I've already had people come in and buy their rings on their way to like the courthouse.
Yeah, that's what I was basically saying. So here's my question now. So speaking of engagement rings, just a couple last ones for you. Like, give a price point. Like, what's the lowest range you have on the engagement ring front to like the highest range?
Really? So I brought, so this little 5 pack here starts the at a half carat down here in the corner and goes to like a 2.5 carat up here at the top. So the half carat down here is priced at $450, set in 14 karat white gold. This 2.5 carat up here, also set in 14 karat, is priced at 1750. So under $2,000 for 2.5 carats in lab grown. In natural diamonds, they're going to be a little more expensive. That first one I showed you guys right here was 1950. We have a few other ones. This is a 2-piece set priced at 1450. But again, you can see most of our inventory, especially at this location, at maxpawn.com.
Tracie, we're going to have you back to talk about other jewelry segments. You're just phenomenal. I mean, just had so much fun with you today. Do you work in other areas besides jewelry at Max Pawn?
Of course, yeah. We actually pride ourselves in pre-owned luxury. So handbags, wallets, sunglasses, purses, jewelry, of course, some luxury, some pre-owned shoes, tennis shoes are big resales sometimes, and women's fashion shoes as well. So we do carry a large selection of pre-owned luxury at all of the stores. So you should just stop in at any of our stores. We're open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 and take a look at what you might find, because every day is a different.
What are you seeing in the last year mostly that people are bringing in? Is it still jewelry more than anything else?
It's still jewelry, I think, primarily because jewelry maintains most of its value. Like the wear and tear on a piece of jewelry is a lot less than the wear and tear on a purse or a belt, something else that you might want to use or pre-sell, sell secondhand. You're still going to have more value in your jewelry than you will. And gold's gone up, so the jewelry has increased in value as well.
Makes sense. Well, Tracie Butchko, thank you so much. Max Pawn Luxuries Gemologist, thank you so much for being on CY Interview today. In closing, tell us a little bit more again about Max Pawn Luxury.
So Max Pawn Luxury, where you can look like $1 million without spending $1 million. Come in, visit any of our 3 locations 7 days a week. We have layaway, we have buy now, pay later options. We have everything you'd find at a major retailer at a fraction of the price.
Sounds great. If you're watching this segment today on CY Interview and you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting that subscribe button below. Please like this video. Tracie, we're going to have you back to talk about other luxury items and jewelry on CY Interview. It was great having you on. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Chris.